All right. We're going to finish the Old Testament today. Last two books of the Old Testament, Zechariah and Malachi. We're drinking both July. We run up and we get by. All right. All right. Where is Zechariah in the Septuagint? It's going to be around 1040, I think. Yep. Oh, did I spell Zechariah wrong? I did. It's Zechariah. I need to fix that real quick. Hey guy, Zechariah. And the last book, Malachi. Let me fix the thumb. Well, I'm not going to fix the thumbnail, but I'll fix the title. Zechariah with an E. Save. All right. Zechariah. The book of Zechariah. Zechariah, however you want to say it. It what it is. The author is Zechariah, whose name means he whom God remembers. Born in Babylon, returning to Judah. He was born in Babylon. He's Babylonian. He's a Babylonian Jew. Returning to Judah in 537 BC, Zechariah's prophetic ministry was well established in Babylon among the people in captivity. He was from the tribe of Judah, succeeding his grandfather Ado as a prophet. Haggai was his contemporary. Zechariah is commemorated on February 8th. Date, this book takes place 520 to 480. No. Zechariah's prophecies coincide with those of Haggai. 520 to 480? 520. No, that's 40 years. It's so hard to count years backwards. It would be 80 to 600. So 520 to 480 is 40 years. Okay, that makes sense. The major theme in this book right here, encouraging the returned captives to rebuild the temple. So Haggai, that's why he's a contemporary of Haggai. Haggai was giving the command to build the second temple. So Zechariah was on board with that. The prophecies of Zechariah are messianic, apocalyptic, and eschatological. What's the difference between eschatological and apocalyptic? Doesn't that mean the same thing? Eschatology is the study of the end times. Apocalyptic is about the end times. What's the difference? Let me do some Googling. Difference between apocalyptic and eschatologic. Is that it? How you say it? Eschatological. Eschatology. Difference between apocalyptic and eschatological. Eschatology is the broader theological study of the last things or the ultimate destiny of humanity. Apocalypse is a specific type of revelatory literature or catastrophic event within eschatology that describes how the end unfolds. So, all apocalyptic prophecy is eschatological prophecy, but all eschatological prophecy is not apocalyptic prophecy. Apocalyptic is contained within eschatology. Yay, we learned something. I probably could have guessed that, though. Zechariah foretold Christ's coming in lowliness and humility. Look at that. And yet the Jews still expected some glorious king to come in on a white steed with a crown on his head and a scepter and be like, "You are my people. Bow to me." But then there are prophecies where it says he's not going to come like that. What did they just ignore? Zechariah and Jeremiah and other prophets who said he's not going to come like that. He's not going to be an attractive, genius king. He'll be king, but he's going to come like a humble, lowly servant. Lowliness and humility. His rejection and betrayal for 30 pieces of silver. What? Zechariah prophesies Judas' deception? Crazy. His crucifixion, his priesthood, his heritage, his coming in glory, his building of the Lord's temple, his reign, and his establishment of peace and prosperity. As to the apocalyptic and eschatological emphasis, the prophecies foretold the invasion of Jerusalem, the victory of Judah's enemies, the Lord's defense of Jerusalem, the judgment on the nation. I'm assuming this is talking about the sacking of Israel, or sacking of Jerusalem in 70 AD. The judgment on the nations, the geographical changes in Judah, the commemoration of the Feasts of Tabernacles in the Messianic age, and the fulfillment of the prophecies about the holiness of the Israelites. This book also develops the theology of angels as God communicates through them to Zechariah. Many New Testament apocalyptic images are foreshadowed in this book. Dude, that's one of the biggest theme chunks from this Orthodox Study Bible. The theme chunk takes up like a big chunk of the page of any book so far. But yet, Zechariah is only 12 chapters. All that stuff is going to fit into 12 chapters? That's crazy. This book also, I already read this. Background: in the first year of Cyrus the Great of Persia, based guy, a decree was issued permitting also based historical figure, not just from the Bible. I heard somebody bring up Cyrus the Great, and somebody else was like, "Oh, we're not talking about the Bible, okay? We're talking about real history." Cyrus the Great is a well-known historical figure outside of the Bible. That's dumb. A decree was issued permitting the return of the Jews to Jerusalem with a commission to rebuild the temple. The Israelites were led back to Zerubbabel and Joshua. Zerubbabel, son of Shealtiel, was the heir to the throne of David. In 520 BC, Zechariah and Haggai attempted to rouse the remnant of returned exiles to rebuild the temple. So Haggai and Zechariah kind of go together. They're contemporary prophets, and they're both focused on getting the remnant to rebuild the second temple. Because God's like, you got a place to live. You can't take a little time out of the day to build me a place to live, a temple for me? That's crazy. All right. Zechariah's 12 chapters. They're not huge chapters, but I'm just going to get started on it. We're finishing the Old Testament today. Last two books of the Old Testament. What's up, Pain Zombie Ghosting? Zechariah chapter 1. In the 8th month, in the 2nd year of Darius, came the word of the Lord unto Zechariah, the son of Berechiah, the son of Iddo, the prophet, saying, The Lord hath been sore displeased with your fathers. Therefore say thou unto them, Thus saith the Lord of hosts, Turn ye unto me, saith the Lord of hosts, and I will turn unto you, saith the Lord of hosts. Be ye not as your fathers, unto whom the former prophets have cried, saying, Thus saith the Lord of hosts, Turn ye now from your evil ways, and from your evil doings. But they did not hear, nor hearken unto me, saith the Lord. Your fathers, where are they? They dead. And the prophets, do they live forever? God just pulled a JLP, or JLP pulled a God. Where are your fathers at now? Oh, where your prophets at now? They did. They gone. Ain't no sense praying for them no more. They gone. What's up, Paul Long Nate? But my words and my statutes, which I commanded my servants, the prophets, did they not take hold of your fathers? And they returned and said, like as the Lord of hosts thought to do unto us, according to our ways and according to our doings, so hath he dealt with us. Upon the 24th day of the 11th month, which is the month of Sabbat, came the 2nd year of Darius, came the word of the Lord unto Zechariah the son of Berechiah, the son of Iddo, the prophet, saying, I saw by night, and behold, a man. Oh, here we're already getting some revelation foreshadowing right here. There's a pale horse and a red horse. There's the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. Zechariah is already talking about here. This is why I know, sometimes you tell people just read the New Testament first. It's much easier. I don't know if I would say that. I'd say read Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, Hebrews, Acts, Romans. Read those. Then read the Old Testament, because the problem is if somebody's never read the Old Testament and then they jump into Revelation, which a lot of Christians do. A lot of people are like, Revelation's my favorite book in the Bible. Like, what other books have you read from the Bible? None. I just like Revelation. It's crazy. Oh, yeah? What's it about? What is it talking about? What do all those things mean? They don't know. Nobody knows. So you get somebody who's drinking milk, isn't even close to eating meat. You put them on Revelation. Next thing you know, you got a freaking apocalypse cult. Thank you, How Long Nate, for the Bible grift, bro. I don't ask for super chats in these streams or have a dono bar because we're not trying to grift off the Bible, but I do appreciate them. So if you send them, that's on you. But what was I just saying? Yeah, next you get somebody, a young Christian drinking milk, start reading Revelation, coming up with all sorts of crazy things. But if you read through the Old Testament, then when you get to Revelation, it all makes sense. It makes more sense. It still doesn't make perfect sense. Even the best theologians and Bible scholars will tell you Revelation is wild. Like, we don't really know what all this means. You can study the Bible your whole life and you're still guessing about a lot of Revelation. Plus, does it make sense to start at the beginning or start at the end? But a lot of people, aren't going to make it through. We've lost many a men on the shores of Deuteronomy and Leviticus. A lot of people aren't going to make it through the begats and the schematics of the ark and the tabernacle, and a lot of people are going to start from page 1 and I'm going to read the Bible cover to cover. And they get to like Deuteronomy, Leviticus, Numbers. And then if they're lucky enough to get past that, once they get to 1st and 2nd Kings, Samuel, 1st, 2nd Samuel, 1st, 2nd Chronicles, the begets, the names, the places, the repetitiveness over and over and over again with the same. A lot of people get lost there. So that's why you just say, okay, well, just read the Synoptic Gospels, read Matthew, Mark, Luke, read John, read Romans, Acts, Hebrews. Because if you just try to read it from cover to cover, then you're going to get to parts where it's a trudge. If you've been watching these streams, I know I've been missing the streams because of sleeping. Hey, no problem, buddy. We're going to finish the Old Testament today. Okay, where was I? I'm going to start back at 7 because there's a what is this symbol called? I wish I knew what this symbol was called. I always explain it, but I don't know what it's called, but it's like a break. So verse 7, upon the 24th day of the 11th month, which is the month of Sabbat, in the 2nd year of Darius, came the word of the Lord unto Zechariah the son of Berechiah, the son of Iddo, the prophet, saying, here we go. I saw by night, And behold, a man riding upon a red horse, and he stood among the myrtle trees that were in the bottom, and behind him were their red horses speckled in white. Then said I, O my Lord, what are these? And the angel that talked with me said unto me, I will show thee what these be. And the man that stood among the myrtle trees answered and said, These are they whom the Lord hath sent to walk to and fro through the earth. And they answered the angel of the Lord that stood among the myrtle trees and said, We have walked to and fro through the earth, and behold, all the earth sitteth still and is at rest. Then the angel, don't let the flat earthers read that. They're going to lose their minds. See, I told you, the earth sits still. Then the angel of the Lord answered and said, O Lord of hosts, how long wilt thou not have mercy on Jerusalem and on the cities of Judah, against which thou hast had indignation these 70 years? That's 70 years. And the Lord answered the angel that talked with me with good words and comfortable words. So the angel that communed with me said unto me, Cry thou, saying, Thus saith the Lord of hosts, I am jealous for Jerusalem and for Zion with a great jealousy, and I am very sore displeased with the heathen that are at ease. For I was but a little displeased, and they helped forward the affliction. Therefore thus saith the Lord, I am returned to Jerusalem with mercies. My house shall be built in it, saith the Lord of hosts, and a line shall be stretched forth upon Jerusalem. Cry yet, saying, Thus saith the Lord of hosts, My cities through prosperity shall yet be spread abroad, and the Lord shall yet comfort Zion, and shall yet choose Jerusalem. Then lifted I up mine eyes, and saw, and behold, 4 horns. There's the 4 horns. And I said unto the angel that talked with me, What be these? And he answered me, These are the horns which have scattered Judah, Israel, and Jerusalem. And the Lord showed me 4 carpenters. Then said I, What come these to do? And he spake, saying, These are the horns which have scattered Judah, so that no man did lift up his head. But these are come to fray them, to cast out the horns of the Gentiles, which lifted up their horn over the land of Judah to scatter it. So some eschatological symbolism there. Or, well, there's always the near prophecy and the long prophecy. The near prophecy is the sacking of Jerusalem, which like a full preterist would say, that was the prophesied end time, and now we're living in the post-millennial era in the end times. But that's not necessarily true, because there's near prophecy and far prophecy. The near prophecy could be the sacking of Israel, but the far prophecy could be the end times talked about in Revelation. What's up, Re-Examination Show? Where was I? I'm back on this page. I'm on chapter 2. Okay. Chapter 2. I lifted up mine eyes again and looked, and behold, a man with a measuring line in his hand. This is like now the 3rd time that this measuring line reference has been used. It started in one of these later prophets, maybe right around Micah or something. They keep using this reference of a straight line or a measuring line in his hand. Then said I, Whither goest thou? And he said unto me, To measure Jerusalem, to see what is the breadth thereof, and what is the length thereof. See, this is a similar prophecy given earlier. I forget which prophet said this, but they're all contemporary, so it makes sense that they would have similar prophecies, even though they're in different areas and different times, but close to the same time, and they're saying similar things, but not exactly the same, which is what we would expect. And behold, the angel that talked with me went forth, and another angel went out to meet him, and said unto him, Run, speak to this young man, saying, Jerusalem shall be inhabited as towns without walls, for the multitude of men and cattle therein. For I, saith the Lord, will be unto her a wall of fire round about, and will be the glory in the midst of her. Ho, ho, come forth and flee from the land of the north, saith the Lord. For I have spread you abroad as the four winds of the heaven, saith the Lord. Deliver thyself, O Zion, that dwellest with the daughter of Babylon. For thus saith the Lord of hosts, after the glory hath he sent me unto the nations which spoiled you. For he that toucheth you toucheth the apple of his eye. Interesting symbolism there, the apple of his eye. For behold, I will shake mine hand upon them, and they shall be a spoil to their servants. And ye shall know that the Lord of hosts hath sent me. Apple of his eye. I wonder if the Bible is the origin of that expression, or if there's an earlier use. Has sent me. Verse 10, Sing and rejoice, O daughter of Zion, for lo, I come and I will dwell in the midst of thee, saith the Lord. And many nations shall be joined to the Lord in that day, and shall be my people, and I will dwell in the midst of thee, and thou shalt know that the Lord of hosts has sent me unto thee. And the Lord shall inherit Judah, his portion in the Holy Land, and shall choose Jerusalem again. Be silent, O all flesh, before the Lord, for he is raised up out of his holy habitation. Raised up. Maybe a little messianic prophecy. Pretty sure the Bible originated that saying. I wouldn't be surprised. Bible originated everything. Facts. Oh my God. Shut up, Marilyn. Timeout. Marilyn's going to timeout because she can't not Juiceburg. We're literally reading the Old Testament. It's written by Jewish people. You're in timeout. 5 minutes. Don't Juiceburg. We love the Jews. Chapter 3. And he showed me Joshua, the high priest. This is Joshua, son of, we just read it yesterday. This is not the same Joshua from Judges, the Judge Joshua. Judge Dredd, Judge Joshua. Different Joshua. The high priest standing before the angel of the Lord, and Satan standing at his right hand to resist him. Joshua, I mean, if this is an angel of Joshua, it could be the same Joshua. Hold on, there's a note here. Haggai 1:1. No, it's a different Joshua. It's the Joshua from Haggai. But he's standing before the angel of the Lord, and Satan is at his right hand to resist him. At Joshua's right hand or at the angel of the Lord's right hand? Yeah. Yeah, I know. But to be fair, I don't know if Marilyn can name a book of the Bible, period. You know? Not just one that's not written by a Jew, but I don't think you say, name a book of the Bible, Marilyn, she'd be like, the Bible? It's called the Bible? That's the book of the Bible? This is weird. Satan standing at his right hand to resist him. Huh. I'm sure it's going to give me some more explanation, but I kind of am interested in digging a little deeper into this. And the Lord said unto Satan, the Lord rebuke thee, O Satan. What? I didn't even know this was in here. By the way, I've never even read Zechariah and Malachi. This is my first time reading these two books because they're like little couple pages at the end of the Old Testament, part commonly skipped over by a lot of people. I didn't know this happened. And the Lord said unto Satan, the Lord rebuke thee, O Satan. Even the Lord that hath chosen Jerusalem rebuke thee. Is not this a brand plucked out of the fire? Now Joshua was clothed with filthy garments and stood before the angel. And he answered and spake unto those that stood before him, saying, Take away the filthy garments from him. And unto him he said, Behold, I have caused thine iniquity to pass from thee, and I will clothe thee with a change of raiment. That's kind of maybe symbolizes the filthy rags of our sin, and God covers us with righteousness and makes us clean, makes us new. But I also wonder if this is like a messianic prophecy, because Joshua, that name is kind of loosely tied to the name Jesus. I got in a big argument with James about this. They're similar names. They're not the same name, but they're very similar names. I almost named my oldest son Malachi. I just read what it means. We'll read it again, what it means here in a minute in Hebrew. But I can't remember, but I just read it. But when we get to Malachi, we'll read it again. He answered and spake, Iniquity to pass from thee, I will clothe thee with change of raiment. And I said, Let them set a fair meter upon his head. So they set a fair meter upon his head, and clothed him with garments. And the angel of the Lord stood by. And the angel of the Lord protested unto Joshua, saying, by protesting, it doesn't mean they're holding up a sign, picketing. He spoke. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, if thou wilt walk in my ways, and if thou wilt keep my charge, then thou shalt also judge my house, and shalt also keep my courts, and I will give thee places to walk among these that stand by. Hear now, O Joshua the high priest, thou and thy fellows that sit before thee, for they are men wondered at. For behold, I will bring forth my servant, the branch. Branch is in all caps. For behold, the stones that I have laid before Joshua, upon one stone shall be 7 eyes. Behold, I will engrave the graving thereof, saith the Lord of hosts, and I will remove the iniquity of that land in one day. In that day, saith the Lord of hosts, shall ye call every man his neighbor under the vine and under the fig tree. Joshua is close enough to Yeshua. Yeah. Yep. Chapter 4. And the angel that talked with me came again and waked me as a man that is wakened out of his sleep, and said unto me, What seest thou? And I said, I have looked, and behold, a candlestick all of gold, with a bowl upon the top of it, and his 7 lamps thereon, and 7 pipes to the 7 lamps which are upon the top thereof, and 2 olive trees by it, one upon the right side of the bowl, and the other upon the left side thereof. So I answered and spake to the angel that talked with me, saying, What are these, my Lord? Then the angel that talked with me answered and said unto me, Knowest thou not what these be? And I said, No, my Lord. Then he answered and spake unto me, saying, This is the word of the Lord unto Zerubbabel, saying, Not by might nor by power, but by my spirit, saith the Lord of hosts. Ooh, I like that. Not by might nor by power, but by my spirit, saith the Lord of hosts. Who art thou, O great mountain? Before Zerubbabel, thou shalt become a plain. Dang, you're a great mountain, and before Zerubbabel, you should become a plain. And he shall bring forth the headstone thereof with shoutings, crying, Grace, grace unto it. Moreover, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, The hands of Zerubbabel have laid the foundation of this house. His hands shall also finish it. And thou shalt know that the Lord of hosts has sent me unto you. For who hath despised the day of small things? For they shall rejoice and see and shall see the plummet in the hand of Zerubbabel with those 7. They are the eyes of the Lord, which run to and fro through the whole earth. Then answered I and said unto him, What are these 2 olive trees upon the right side of the candlestick and upon the left side thereof? And I answered again and said unto him, What be these 2 olive branches, which through the 2 golden pipes empty the golden oil out of themselves? And he answered me and said, Knowest thou not what these be? And I said, No, my Lord. Then said he, These are the 2 anointed ones that stand by the Lord of the whole earth. The 2 anointed ones that stand by the Lord of the whole earth. Is that Jesus and the Holy Spirit? Is that what that's talking about? Ecclesiastes is my favorite book in that everything is meaningless but the glory of God. At least she knows what Ecclesiastes is about. Everything is vanity except for the glory of God. You're right. The only problem is you think you're God. So that means everything's vanity except for yourself, which is ego. You are not the ego I me. I need more water. Chapter 5. Then I turned and lifted up mine eyes and looked, and behold, a flying roll. A flying roll. I wonder what a flying roll is. Is there another translation of this? What do they mean, a flying roll? I guess I could look up in the Strongs what the word means. I'm just going to Google it. Flying roll. Bible, Zechariah. A vision of God's approaching judgment. The massive double-sided parchment measures 30 feet by 15. Okay, so it's a scroll. A scroll that hasn't unrolled. It's just a rolled scroll. That's what I thought. The flying scroll. Other translations translate it flying scroll. Don't let the ancient alien people hear this. They're going to be like, it's a flying saucer. It's a UFO. Like a scroll. Yeah. Satanists believe they are their own God. That's true. That is true. And he said unto me, What seest thou? And I answered, I see a flying roll. The length thereof is 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof 10 cubits. That's big. Then said he unto me, This is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth. For every one that stealeth shall be cut off, as on this side according to it, and every one that sweareth shall be cut off, as on that side according to it. I will bring it forth, saith the Lord of hosts, and it shall enter into the house of the thief, and into the house of him that sweareth falsely by my name. And it shall remain in the midst of his house, and shall consume it with the timber thereof and the stones thereof. Then the angel that talked with me went forth and said unto me, Lift up now thine eyes, and see what is this that goeth forth. And I said, What is it? And he said, This is an ephah that goeth forth. He said, Moreover, this is their resemblance through all the earth. And behold, there was lifted up a talent of lead, and this is a woman that sitteth in the midst of the ephah. And he said, This is wickedness. And he cast it into the midst of the ephah, and he cast the weight of lead upon the mouth thereof. An ephah is a measurement of weight, a scale balancer. What do we call them? I forget what we call them, but you put it on the opposite side of your scale. A counterbalance. Flying scrolls are tight. Not a flying squirrel. Flying scroll. And he cast the weight of lead upon the mouth thereof. Then lifted up mine eyes and looked, and behold, there came out 2 women, and the wind was in their wings, for they had wings like the wings of a stork, and they lifted up the ephah between the earth and the heaven. Then said I to the angel that talked with me, Whither do these bear the ephah? And he said unto me, To build it an house in the land of Shinar, and it shall be established and set there upon her own base. So that's where we get the idea of angels having big white wings. It says it right there. These angel ladies had stork wings. Oh, Lord, Marilyn. You're not the sharpest crown in the box. What did Satan tell Adam and Eve? You can be like God. You're a God. He just doesn't want you to know you're a God. Chapter 6. And I turned and lifted up mine eyes and looked, and behold, there came 4 chariots out from between 2 mountains, and the mountains were mountains of brass. In the first chariot were red horses, and in the second chariot black horses. See the foreshadowing of Revelation, the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse, the red, the pale, the black, and the white, I think. And in the third chariot, white horses. And in the fourth chariot, grizzled and bay horses. So red, black, white, and then grizzled and bay. I don't know what that means. Pale horses? Oh my God. Shut up, Marilyn. Then I answered and said unto the angel that talked with me, What are these, my Lord? And the angel answered and said unto me, These are the 4 spirits of the heaven, which go forth from standing before the Lord of all the earth. Is this going to be, if this is war, famine, pestilence, and death, then this is definitely Revelation foreshadowing. The black horses, which are therein, go forth into the north country, and the white go forth after them, and the grizzled go forth toward the south country. And the bay went forth and sought to go, that they might walk to and fro through the earth. And he said, Get you hence, walk to and fro through the earth. So they walked to and fro through the earth. Then cried he upon me, and spake unto me, saying, Behold, these that go toward the north country have quieted my spirit in the north country. And the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Take of them of the captivity, even of Heldai, of Tobijah, and of Jediah, which are come from Babylon, and come thou the same day, and go into the house of Josiah the son of Zephaniah. Then take silver and gold, and make crowns, and set them upon the head of Joshua the son of Josedek, the high priest. And speak unto him, saying, Thus speaketh the Lord of hosts, saying, Behold, the man whose name is the branch, and he shall grow up out of his place, and he shall build the temple of the Lord. That's talking about Jesus. Even he shall build the temple of the Lord, and he shall bear the glory, and shall sit and rule upon his throne. And he shall be a priest upon his throne. And the counsel of peace shall be between them both. And the crowns shall be to Helem, and to Tobijah, and to Jediah, and to Hen the son of Zephaniah, for a memorial in the temple of the Lord. And they that are far off shall come and build in the temple of the Lord, and ye shall know that the Lord of hosts hath sent me unto you. And this shall come to pass, if ye will diligently obey the voice of the Lord your God. Isn't grizzled like pure muscle? I don't know. Grizzled and bay horses? I think it's talking about their color. Grizzled. That's chiseled. And bay horses. Specific equine coat colors and descriptors. Most famously referenced together in the biblical version of the 4 chariots in Zechariah 6:3. Grizzled horses mottled, speckled, or dappled with white spots over another base color, such as gray or black. Oh, this is cool. I like this way this horse looks. But then what's bay? Bay horses, distinctive reddish brown or chestnut colored body with a black mane, black tail, and black lower legs. Okay. So then what's the difference between a red and a bay? Sorrel, dapple gray, bay, Appaloosa, pre-bald, buckskin, red roan. So a white horse is called a gray horse nowadays. Cool. I'm learning about horse coats. Where was I? Where am I at? Chapter 7? Chapter 7. And it came to pass in the 4th year of King Darius that the word of the Lord came unto Zechariah in the 4th day of the 9th month, even in Chislu. Chislu? Chislu. It's like a French word. CHIS apostrophe LEU. Sounds like a French word. That's a French word. Chislu. When they had sent unto the house of God Shezrazar and Regemelech and their men to pray before the Lord, and to speak unto the priests which were in the house of the Lord of hosts, and to the prophets, saying, should I weep in the 5th month, separating myself as I have done so these many years? Then came the word of the host, saying unto me, saying, speak unto all the people of the land, and to the priests, saying, when ye fasted and mourned in the 5th and 7th month, even those 7 years, did ye at all fast unto me, even to me? Did ye at all fast unto me, even to me? And when ye did eat, and when ye did drink, did not ye eat for yourselves, and drink for yourselves? Should ye not hear the words which the Lord hath cried by the former prophets, when Jerusalem was inhabited and in prosperity, and the cities thereof round about her, when men inhabited the south and the plain? And the word of the Lord came unto Zechariah, saying, thus speaketh the Lord of hosts, saying, execute true judgment, and show mercy and compassion every man to his brother. And oppress not the widow, nor the fatherless, the stranger, nor the poor. And let none of you imagine evil against his brother in your heart. But they refused to hearken, and pulled away the shoulder, and stopped their ears, that they should not hear. Yea, they made their hearts as an adamant stone, lest they should hear the law and the words which the Lord of hosts hath sent in his spirit by the former prophets. Therefore came a great wrath from the Lord of hosts. Therefore it has come to pass that as he cried, and they would not hear, so they cried, and I would not hear, saith the Lord of hosts. But I scattered them with a whirlwind among all the nations whom they knew not. Thus the land was desolate after them, that no man passed through nor returned. For they laid the pleasant land desolate. Dapple, dapple, apple, apple, dapple. One second. This is 12 chapters, right? Oh, it's 14. A little more than I thought. We got to go quick. Chapter 8. Again, the word of the Lord of hosts came to me, saying, thus saith the Lord of hosts, I was jealous for Zion with great jealousy, and I was jealous for her with great fury. Thus saith the Lord, I am returned unto Zion, and will dwell in the midst of Jerusalem. And Jerusalem shall be called a city of truth, and the mountain of the Lord of hosts, the holy mountain. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, I don't know that number. Check my text, though, because it might be somebody I know. I gotta finish this today because I can't stream tomorrow. They're gonna be coming and fix. I think they're gonna be working on my swamp cooler, so I have to be home and let them in. Them the people y'all defend. What are you talking about? Where was I? Again, the word of jealousy was jealous, thus saith the Lord. Again, the word of the Lord of hosts came to me, saying, Thus saith the Lord of hosts, I was jealous for Zion with great jealousy, and I was jealous for her with great fury. Thus saith the Lord, I am returned unto Zion, and will dwell in the midst of Jerusalem. And Jerusalem shall be called a city of truth, and the mountain of the Lord of hosts, the holy mountain. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, There shall yet old men and old women dwell in the streets of Jerusalem, and every man with his staff in his hand for very age. And the streets of the city shall be full of boys and girls playing in the streets thereof. Nice. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, If it be marvelous in the eyes of the remnant of this people in these days, should it also be marvelous in mine eyes, saith the Lord of hosts? Thus saith the Lord of hosts, Behold, I will save my people from the east country and from the west country. And I will bring them, and they shall dwell in the midst of Jerusalem, and they shall be my people, and I will be their God, in truth and in righteousness. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, Let your hands be strong, ye that hear in these days these words by the mouth of the prophets, which were in the day that the foundation of the house of the Lord of hosts was laid, that the temple might be built. For before these days there was no hire for man, nor any hire for beasts, neither was there any peace to him that went out or came in because of the affliction. For I set all men every one against his neighbor. But now I will not be unto the residue of this people as in the former days, saith the Lord of hosts. For the seed shall be prosperous, the vine shall give her fruit, and the ground shall give her increase, and the heavens shall give their dew. And I will cause the remnant of this people to possess all these things. And it shall come to pass that as ye were a curse among the heathen, O house of Judah and house of Israel, so will I save you, and ye shall be a blessing. Fear not, but let your hands be strong. For thus saith the Lord of hosts, As I thought to punish you when your fathers provoked me to wrath, saith the Lord of hosts, and I repented not, so again have I thought in these days to do well unto Jerusalem and to the house of Judah. Fear ye not. These are the things that ye shall do. Speak ye every man the truth to his neighbor. Execute the judgment of truth and peace in your gates. And let none of you imagine evil in your hearts against his neighbor, and love no false oath. For all these are things that I hate, saith the Lord. And the word of the Lord of hosts came unto me, saying, Thus saith the Lord of hosts, The fast of the fourth month, and the fast of the 5th month, and the fast of the 7th, and the fast of the 10th, shall be to the house of Judah joy and gladness, and cheerful feasts. Therefore love the truth and peace. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, It shall yet come to pass that there shall come people, and the inhabitants of many cities, and the inhabitants of one city shall go to another, saying, Let us go speedily to pray before the Lord, and seek the Lord of hosts. I will go also. Yea, many people in strong nations shall come to seek the Lord of hosts in Jerusalem, and to pray before the Lord. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, In those days it shall come to pass that 10 men shall take hold out of all languages of the nations, even shall take hold of the skirt of him that is a Jew, saying, We will go with you, for we have heard that God is with you. 10 men. Is that talking about apostles? Take the skirt of him. Is that's talking about Jesus, and the 10 men must be the apostles, the disciples, but there's 12 disciples. Maybe Judah, it's not counting Judas, still be 11. You are so slow and green. No, there's no point in chatting on Bible study day because all you say is heretical nonsense. Nobody wants to hear it. Take hold of the skirt of him that is a Jew, saying, We will go forth with you, for we have heard that God is with you. That's got to be talking about Jesus. Chapter 9. The burden of the word of the Lord in the land of Hadrach and Damascus shall be the rest thereof. When the eyes of man, as of all the tribes of Israel, shall be toward the Lord. And Hamath also shall border thereby, Tyrus and Zidon, though it be very wise. And Tyrus did build herself a stronghold, and heaped up silver as the dust, and fine gold as the mire of the streets. Behold, the Lord will cast her out, and he will smite her power in the sea, and she shall be devoured with fire. Ashkelon shall see it and fear. Gaza also shall see it, and be very sorrowful. And Ekron, for her expectation, shall be ashamed. And the king shall perish from Gaza, and Ashkelon shall not be inhabited. And a bastard shall dwell in Ashdod, and I will cut off the pride of the Philistines. And I will take away his blood out of his mouth, and his abominations from between his teeth. But he that remaineth, even he, shall be for our God. And he shall be as a governor in Judah and Ekron, as a Jebusite. And I will encamp about mine house because of the army, because of him that passeth by, and because of him that returneth, and no oppressor shall pass through them any more. For now have I seen with mine eyes. Rejoice greatly, O daughter of Zion. Shout, O daughter of Jerusalem. Behold, thy king cometh unto thee. He is just and having salvation, lowly and riding upon an ass, and upon a colt, the foal of an ass. And I will cut off the chariot from Ephraim, and the horse from Jerusalem, and the battle bow shall be cut off. And he shall speak peace unto the heathen, and his dominion shall be from sea even to sea, and from river even to the ends of the earth. As for thee also, by the blood of thy covenant, I have sent forth thy prisoners out of the pit wherein is no water. Turn you to the stronghold, ye prisoners of hope. Even today do I declare that I will render double unto thee. When I have bent Judah for me, filled the bow with Ephraim, and raised up thy sons, O Zion, against thy sons, O Greece, and made thee as the sword of a mighty man. And the Lord shall be seen over them, and his arrow shall go forth as the lightning. And the Lord God shall blow the trumpet, and shall go with whirlwinds of the south. The Lord of hosts shall defend them, and they shall devour and subdue with sling and stones. And they shall drink and make a noise as through wine, and they shall be filled like bowls, and as the corners of the altar. And the Lord their God shall save them in that day as the flock of his people, for they shall be as the stones of a crown lifted up as an ensign upon his head. For how great is his goodness, and how great is his beauty! Corn shall make the young men cheerful, and new wine the maids. They'll eat, drink, and be merry, and rejoice. Boo. Everybody, we have two lames here. Moses leads the tribes. Are we after that? I've been having mental stuff the past month. I don't know what that means. What the? Are we after that? Yes, we are after Moses. Chapter 10. What's up, Yoda? Chapter 10. Ask ye of the Lord rain in the time of the latter rain. So the Lord shall make bright clouds and give them showers of rain, to every one grass in the field. For the idols have spoken vanity, and the diviners have seen a lie, and have told false dreams. They comfort in vain. Therefore they went their way as a flock. They were troubled because there was no shepherd. Mine anger was kindled against the shepherds, and I punished the goats. For the Lord of hosts hath visited his flock, the house of Judah, and hath made them as his goodly horse in the battle. Out of him came forth the corner, out of him the nail, out of him the battle bow, out of him every oppressor together. And they shall be as mighty men, which tread down their enemies in the mire of the streets in the battle. And they shall fight, because the Lord is with them, and the riders on horses shall be confounded. I like that. That verse go hard. And I will strengthen the house of Judah, and I will save the house of Joseph, and I will bring them again to place them, for I have mercy upon them. And they shall be as though I had not cast them off, for I am the Lord their God, and will hear them. And they of Ephraim shall be like a mighty man, and their heart shall rejoice as through wine. Yea, their children shall see it and be glad. Their heart shall rejoice in the Lord. I will hiss for them and gather them, for I have redeemed them, and they shall increase as they have increased. And I will sow them among the people, and they shall remember me in far countries. And they shall live with their children and turn again. I will bring them again also out of the land of Egypt and gather them out of Assyria, and I will bring them into the land of Gilead and Lebanon. And place shall not be found for them. No, it doesn't say a place. And place shall not be found for them. And he shall pass through the sea with affliction, and shall smite the waves in the sea, and all the deeps of the rivers shall dry up, and the pride of Assyria shall be brought down, and the scepter of Egypt shall depart away. And I will strengthen them in the Lord, and they shall walk up and down in his name, saith the Lord. I gotta just keep going. I thought there was only 12 chapters in this, but there's 14. Zechariah is a little longer than I thought, but it's fine. We're still going to get through all this today. Chapter 11. Open thy doors, O Lebanon, that the fire may devour thy cedars. Howl, fir tree, for the cedar is fallen, because the mighty are spoiled. Howl, O ye oaks of Bashan, for the forest of the vintage is come down. There is a voice of the howling of the shepherds, for their glory is spoiled. A voice of the roaring of young lions, for the pride of Jordan is spoiled. Thus saith the Lord my God, feedeth the flock of the slaughter, whose processors slay them, and hold themselves not guilty. And they that sell them say, Blessed be the Lord, for I am rich, and their own shepherds pity them not. For I will no more pity the inhabitants of the land, saith the Lord. But lo, I will deliver the men, every one, into his neighbor's hand, and into the hand of his king. And they shall smite the land, and out of their hand I will not deliver them. And I will feed the flock of slaughter, even you, O poor of the flock. And I took unto me 2 staves. The one I called beauty, and the other I called bands. And I fed the flock. 3 shepherds also I cut off in 1 month, and my soul loathed them. It's loathed, but it's Lothed. Like, I think they just spelled it differently back then without an A. And my soul loathed them, and their soul also abhorred me. Then said I will not feed you. That dieth, let it die. And that is cut off, that is to be cut off, let it be cut off. And let the rest eat every one the flesh of another. Savage. I will not feed you. That dieth, let it die. Let the dead bury the dead. You will eat the flesh of one another. And I took my staff, even beauty, and cut it asunder, that I might break my covenant, which I had made with all the people. And it was broken in that day, and so the poor of the flock that waited upon me knew that it was the word of the Lord. And I said unto them, If ye think good, give me my price, and if not, forbear. So they weighed for my price 30 pieces of silver. And the Lord said unto me, Cast it unto the potter, a goodly price that I was prized at of them, surprised by it. And I took the 30 pieces of silver and cast them to the potter in the house of the Lord. Then I cut asunder mine other staff, even bands, bands, his 2 staves, beauty and bands, that I might break the brotherhood between Judah and Israel, the bands that bind Judah and Israel. He's breaking those bands. And the Lord said unto me, Take unto thee yet the instruments of a foolish shepherd. For lo, I will raise up a shepherd in the land, which shall not visit those that be cut off, neither shall seek the young one, nor heal that is broken, nor feed that standeth still. But he shall eat the flesh of the fat, and tear their claws in pieces. Woe to the idle shepherd that leaveth the flock. The sword shall be upon his arm, and upon his right eye. His arm shall be clean dried up, and his right eye shall be utterly darkened. That was a confusing chapter, but we're just reading through. So if it sounds interesting, and you're wondering what does that mean, that was Zechariah 11. You can just, study yourself approved. Look into it. We're on chapter 12, Marshall. Chapter 12. The burden of the word of the Lord for Israel, saith the Lord, which stretcheth forth the heavens, and layeth the foundation of the earth, and formeth the spirit of man within him. Behold, I will make Jerusalem a cup of trembling unto all the people round about, when they shall be in the siege, both against Judah and against Jerusalem. And in that day I will make Jerusalem a burdensome stone for all people. All that burden themselves with it shall be cut in pieces, though all the people of the earth be gathered together against it. In that day, saith the Lord, I will smite every horse with astonishment, and his rider with madness. And I will open mine eyes upon the house of Judah, and will smite every horse of the people with blindness. And the governors of Judah shall say in their heart, the inhabitants of Jerusalem shall be my strength in the Lord of hosts their God. In that day will I make the governors of Judah like an hearth of fire among the wood, and like a torch of fire in a sheaf. And they shall devour all the people round about, on the right hand and on the left. And Jerusalem shall be inhabited again in her own place, even in Jerusalem. The Lord also shall save the tents of Judah first, that the glory of the house of David and the glory of the inhabitants of Jerusalem do not magnify themselves against Judah. In that day shall the Lord defend the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and he that is feeble among them at that day shall be as David, strong. And the house of David shall be as God, as the angel of the Lord before them. And it shall come to pass in that day that I will seek to destroy all the nations that come against Jerusalem. And I will pour upon the house of David and upon the inhabitants of Jerusalem the spirit of grace and of supplications, and they shall look upon me whom they have pierced, and they shall mourn for him, as one mourneth for his only son, and shall be in bitterness for him, as one that is in bitterness for his firstborn. Interesting. It says, I will pour upon the house of David. So this is God talking, or it's an angel of the Lord speaking for God, or it's Jesus. This actually makes sense that this is Jesus talking. Or well, if it's the Spirit of God speaking through the angel of the Lord. Either way, it says, they shall look upon me whom they have pierced. So this is messianic prophecy talking about when they pierced Jesus with the spear, or when they pierced his hands with the nails on the cross. And the person talking right now is the angel of the Lord, quote unquote. That's what it's called here. And some doctrine says the angel of the Lord is always Jesus. I don't know if it's always Jesus, but this time it does seem like this is Jesus talking. Because he says, they shall look upon me whom they have pierced. But then it says, and they shall mourn for him as one mourneth for his only son, and shall be in bitterness for him as one that is in bitterness for his firstborn. In that day shall there be a great mourning in Jerusalem, as the mourning of, this is a word, Hadad Ramon in the valley of Megiddon. And the land shall mourn, every family apart, the family of the house of David apart, and their wives apart, the family of the house of Nathan apart, and their wives apart, the family of the house of Levi apart, and their wives apart, the family of Shimei apart, and their wives apart, all the families that remain, every family apart, and their wives apart. Separating sons from daughters. Did not come to unite. Did not come to bring peace. Yea, a sword. Tribe of Gad. Gad. Were they the warriors? I don't know. I can't remember. You're probably right. My thoughts on Andrew Wilson's new "Is Trump a fascist?" debate after my debate I did with him. It's interesting. This is off topic, but that debate he just did about fascism with that guy, is Trump a fascist? They did exactly what I said in the after panel with Andrew and Searcar. I went on the panel. I said, you guys should just go through the 14 tenets of fascism and see which ones Trump fits. I did it on my stream a long time ago. I said he fits 7 out of 14. So I call him a half-schist. He's only half fascist. He's a half-schist. Y'all probably don't even, I don't know if y'all even know what I'm talking about. But anyway. But they used a different 14 tenets that I never heard of. They kept saying the guy's name, and I was like, that's not the guy that made the 14 tenets. And either there's 2 guys that made 14 tenets, or they were both saying the wrong name the whole time. Because the 14 tenets of fascism are from not Lebet, that's somebody else. Yeah, this is it. Lawrence Britt. Yeah, I don't know. They're not going to come do my thing today, are they? My swamp cooler? Yeah, I don't know what they were talking about. They kept saying 14 tenets of fascism by somebody. They were not saying the right name. Both of them were like, oh, well, he said this and he said, and they kept referring to the name. The 14 tenets of fascism are from Lawrence Britt. I don't know who they were talking about, but I don't see any other. Maybe there's a different one that I don't know about. Lawrence Britt, Lawrence Britt, Lawrence Britt, Lawrence Britt. No, Umberto Eco. Oh, this is who they were talking about. Umberto Eco. Okay. So they weren't saying the wrong name. They're just talking about a different person who came up with 14 tenets. But the main 14 tenets are from Lawrence Britt. I don't know who this Echo guy is. 1995. Okay, so it's just a more modern version. The original 14 tenets of fascism are from Lawrence Britt, not from Umberto Eco. Just want to throw that out there. Off track, sorry. Okay. Chapter 13. 2 chapters left in Zechariah. Let's get it. Chapter 13. And that day there shall be a fountain opened to the house of David and to the inhabitants of Jerusalem for sin and for uncleanness. And it shall come to pass in that day, I'm guessing Jesus is the fountain. And it shall come to pass in that day, saith the Lord of hosts, that I will cut off the names of the idols out of the land, and they shall no more be remembered. Well, they're being brought back now. And also, like, paganism. I thought paganism was totally dead. I guess if you define paganism as just anything that's not an established religion, then paganism never died. But that's a very loose definition. True OG paganism, I thought it was gone. But now it's popular again. Everybody want to be a dang warlock and a witch and a fortune teller and an astrologer. Astronomer? Astrologer. 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 That doesn't sound right. Everybody want to be a dang stargazer. Or a witch doing some sorcery and some spells. Reading tarot cards, crystal balls, magic crystals. Those are two different things. Crystal ball, magic crystals. Ask Marilyn. She knows all about it. She knows about witchcraft. Idols out of the land, and they shall no more be remembered. And also I will cause the prophets and the unclean spirit to pass out of the land. And it shall come to pass that when any shall yet prophesy, then his father and his mother that begat him shall say unto him, Thou shalt not live, for thou speakest lies in the name of the Lord. And his father and his mother that begat him shall thrust him through when he prophesieth. Woo! Is this... See, it seems like that verse points toward cessation, at least cessation of prophecy. Like after Jesus comes, there's no more true prophets. Which I have always leaned towards cessation, like cessation of spiritual gifts after Jesus. But I always believed that, and now I'm kind of leaning towards maybe not. Maybe I was wrong about that. Maybe cessation isn't a thing. But this seems like at least cessation of prophecy. But I mean, John the Baptist was a prophet, and he was prophesying after Jesus. But I don't know. Muhammad and Joseph Smith definitely aren't prophets. Speaking of, I think Louder with Crowder is a confirmed Avarice and JS debate watcher, because we did that debate about cults. The episode from yesterday, he was talking about Islam, and then he started talking about cults, and he said a whole bunch of stuff that I was saying in that debate about cults. And then he said, this is why Islam is definitely a cult. Some people don't think it's a cult. It's definitely a cult. And I was like, let's go. Crowder's a JS debate watcher. He watched my debate. And he agreed with everything I said. I don't really know that he watched it. It's just convenient timing that right after we did that debate, he does a whole episode about cults and how Islam is a cult. I was waiting to bring it up this weekend if I caught you on Discord. Bring what up? That Crowder was talking about Islam being a cult like 2 days after or right after our debate. Show watcher confirmed. And it shall come to pass in that day that the prophets shall be ashamed, every one of his vision. When he hath prophesied, neither shall they wear a rough garment to deceive. But he shall say, I am no prophet. I am no husbandman. For man taught me to keep cattle from my youth. And one shall say unto him, What are these wounds in thine hands? And he shall answer, Those with which I was wounded in the house of my friends. Awake, O sword, against my shepherd, and against the man that is my fellow, saith the Lord of hosts. Smite the shepherd, and the sheep shall be scattered, and I will turn mine hand upon the little ones. And it shall come to pass that in all the land, saith the Lord, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the third shall be left therein. And I will bring the third part through the fire, and will refine them as silver is refined, and will try them as gold is tried. They shall call on my name, and I will hear them. I will say, it is my people, and they shall say, the Lord is my God. I like that. I will bring the third part through the fire, and will refine them as silver is refined, and will try them as gold is tried. They shall call on my name, and I will hear them. I will say, it is my people, and they shall say, the Lord is my God. That verse go hard. I don't know what you're talking about. Who said anything about JLP? I don't know what you're talking about, Marilyn. Why are you harassing that old man? He ain't got time for that mess. Chapter 14. Behold, the day of the Lord cometh, and thy spoil shall be divided in the midst of thee. For I will gather all nations against Jerusalem to battle, and the city shall be taken, and the houses rifled, and the women ravished. And half of the city shall go forth into captivity, and the residue of the people shall not be cut off from the city. Then shall the Lord go forth and fight against those in nations, as when he fought in the day of battle. And his feet shall stand in that day upon the Mount of Olives, which is before Jerusalem on the east. And the Mount of Olives shall cleave in the midst thereof toward the east and toward the west. And there shall be a very great valley, and half of the mountain shall remove toward the north, and half of it toward the south. That's some Revelation foreshadowing, because in Revelation, Jesus comes on the Mountain of Olives, and the mountain splits. And Zechariah was talking about that here in 480 BC. Pretty cool. And ye shall flee to the valley of the mountains, for the valley of the mountains shall reach unto Azal. Yea, ye shall flee like as ye fled from before the earthquake in the days of Uzziah, king of Judah. And the Lord my God shall come, and all the saints with thee. And that earthquake was talked about in Hosea, Joel, Amos, Obadiah, Micah. Obadiah or Micah. One of them talked about the earthquake. I think, or maybe it was, no, I think it was Obadiah. And it shall come to pass in that day that the light shall not be clear nor dark, but it shall be one day which shall be known to the Lord, not day nor night. But it shall come to pass that at evening time it shall be light. And it shall be in that day that living waters shall go out from Jerusalem, half of them toward the former sea, and half of them toward the hinder sea. In summer and in winter shall it be. And the Lord shall be king over all the earth. In that day shall there be one Lord, and his name one. All the land shall be turned as a plain from Geba to Rimmon south of Jerusalem. And it shall be lifted up and inhabited in her place, from Benjamin's gate unto the place of the first gate, unto the corner gate, and from the tower of Hananiel unto the king's wine presses. Hold on, I want to highlight this. The Lord shall be king over all the earth. In that day shall there be one Lord, and his name one. Huh. And men shall dwell in it, and there shall be no more utter destruction, but Jerusalem shall be safely inhabited. And this shall be the plague wherewith the Lord will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth. And it shall come to pass in that day that a great tumult from the Lord shall be among them, and they shall lay hold every one on the hand of his neighbor, and his hand shall rise up against the hand of his neighbor. And Judah also shall fight at Jerusalem, and the wealth of all the heathen round about shall be gathered together, gold and silver and apparel in great abundance. So shall be the plague of the horse, of the mule, of the camel, and of the ass, and of all the beasts that shall be in these tents, as this plague. And it shall come to pass that every one that is left of all the nations which came against Jerusalem shall even go up from year to year to worship the King, the Lord of hosts, and to keep the feast of the tabernacles. And it shall be that whosoever will not come up of all the families of the earth unto Jerusalem to worship the King, the Lord of hosts, even upon them shall be no rain. And if the family of Egypt go not up, and come not, that have no rain, there shall be the plague, wherewith the Lord will smite the heathen that come not up to keep the feast of tabernacles. This shall be the punishment of Egypt, and the punishment of all nations that come not up to keep the feast of tabernacles. In that day shall there be upon the bells of the horses holiness unto the Lord, all caps. And the pots in the Lord's house shall be like the bowls before the altar. Yea, every pot in Jerusalem and in Judah shall be holiness unto the Lord of hosts. And all they that sacrifice shall come and take of them, and seethe therein. And in that day there shall be no more the Canaanite in the house of the Lord of hosts. No more Canaanites in the house. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the end of Zechariah. Now Malachi. Malachi is 4 short chapters. We're almost done. Let's go to this so we can get a little breakdown of Malachi. And now I'll tell you what Malachi means. And the last book, Malachi. Okay. What? No one? What are you talking about? What are you talking about, Marshall? By the way, I ordered my new chair last night. And it ships from, I guess they make them in 2 states. One of those states is Utah. So I should get it pretty quick. And apparently, people are saying it's super easy to assemble. Like 25 minutes for one person to assemble it. So it might not take me 2 weeks to take it out of the box and assemble it. And I got the extra large chair. I was right on the line of the regular or the extra large. The regular, it says max weight is 220. I weigh 220. And the height, the max height was like 6'2". The extra large was for people who are like 5'10" to 6'7". I'm 6 foot. So I'm just over the line for the extra large in height. And then in weight, I'm over the weight for the regular. So I got the extra large. Which they said if you're wide, if you're close and you're not sure which way you want to go, if you like to sit with like your legs crossed, which I do all sorts of weird stuff with my legs while I'm streaming. I'm like up in my chair. Sometimes I'm like standing on my feet. So they said if you like to cross your legs in your chair and you do a lot of like this stuff and moving around, which I do a lot of, you should get the extra large. And also, if you're close to the weight limit, which I'm at the weight limit for the regular, then you should get the extra large, because also I move a lot. And so I want the bigger, heavy dutier one. So I got the extra large one, which was like $50 extra. So after tax for the extra large one, it came out to a little bit more than it was pretty pricey. But we're gonna get the new chair soon, and so we'll have to do one. Once I put it together, we'll have to do one chair send off chair stream. all night chair stream, send off stream. So anybody who sees, I need a picture of, I think I might have Easy somewhere in my phone. A picture of Rob, Easy, Andrew, their chairs. If they get up and walk away from their stream, screenshot it. I need chair pictures. So chair can do a chair reacts to chairs. A chairwell stream. We're going to be saying chairwell to the chair. Get it? Farewell. Chairwell. Chairwell, chair reacts to chairs. Uno with the boys. Chair stream. Coming soon. As soon as I get the new chair and put it together. Which hopefully I'll get it sometime this week or early next week. I'm not sure. For that price, they better ship it out fast. It's a big old box. But it's a nice chair. Let me see if I can. I got the let me see which one I got. Titan Evo. I got this one. This is the one I got. The extra large Titan Evo. The black, speckled black and gray with the baby blue. I like it. I like it. I like the Goku one here, but too bright. And also, this is just a cover. I could just get this cover at some point. All these are just different covers. I like this Final Fantasy one too, but I prefer the fabric to the leather. It's like a new fabric. It's supposed to be really soft and really nice. So that chair's coming soon. Okay. Enough of that. Let's get into Malachi. Let's finish this. I want to be a giant stream if we don't get sidetracked on something else. Come on, Bible study. I want to be a giant stream. This chair. I'm probably just going to stick it over there. I'm just going to sit it in that corner over there. Because I am going to keep it in case, I don't know, if anybody, like, it's not quite done yet, but this is a pretty cool little studio I got here. I got a couch over there. Eventually, I'm going to get a little table to go right there. And eventually run another mic and another camera over to the table. That way, if anybody ever comes over, I can have somebody sitting right there. And if I sit like this, I can have a conversation with the person sitting right there, and they can have a camera on them. And it can be like a guest on the podcast. Can't wait to come visit and sit in the chair. JS, no, it's got to be a Dragon Ball cover, bro, huh? I don't know. Yeah, if Marshall ever comes over, he can sleep on the futon. He can sit in the chair here, or he could sit over there. All right, Malachi. Everybody's leaving because I stopped reading. I thought people didn't like when I just read the Bible. I guess people don't like when I just talk, I guess. I don't know, but just taking a break in between books. Okay. Malachi. The author is Malachi, whose name means angel or messenger. Whatever he prophesied that very day, an angel of God appeared and repeated his message. Malachi spoke with his angel face to face as to a friend. Malachi was born in Sufa of the tribe of Levi after the return of the captives from Babylon. He prophesied after the consecration of the temple in Jerusalem, 515 BC. He is commemorated on January 3rd. The date of this book is from 500 to 350 BC based on the contents of the book. That's 150 years. So it's talking about things that happen over that 150-year period. Major theme, turn from sin, for the day of the Lord is coming. Malachi considers the temple, the priesthood, and true worship as the spiritual foundation, not only for the people of his day, but also for the messianic kingdom to come. Even in the midst of a multitude of sins and evil doings, Malachi looked ahead with hope to see a new day dawning when Elijah, that is John the Baptist, would be sent and the darkness would disappear with the coming of the Christ. Background: after the reconstruction of the temple, the Israelites began grumbling against God. Shocker. They do that over and over and over again. I don't get it. Malachi, how do you spell that? Is this correct? Yes, that's how you spell it. In spite of the many times God had delivered them, the people were ungrateful and forgot their history, saying, "And how has God shown his love?" The priesthood neglected their sacred duties, no longer teaching the law, accepting inferior sacrifices from men who oppressed the widows and orphans, and abandoning their lawful wives and children. Empty ritualism, hypocrisy, irreverence, apostasy, sorcery, and idolatrous practices were common. Because of the sins of the priests and the people, droughts, disease, and misfortunes were commonplace. The book of Malachi addresses these issues. Yeah, we're studio maxing. I don't know. That's eventually that'll be a goal once I get the car. Then I gotta get some furniture for my bedroom and a couple things for the studio in here. All right, Malachi, the last book of the Old Testament. It's only 4 chapters, 2 pages, not long. Let's get it. Chapter 1. The burden of the word of the Lord to Israel by Malachi. I have loved you, thus saith the Lord. Yet ye say, wherein hast thou loved us? Was not Esau Jacob's brother, saith the Lord? Yet I loved Jacob, and I hated Esau, and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness. Whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord hath indignation forever. Oh gosh, I'm glad Chris Terry's not here. He'd be like, you the Edomite, white man the Edomite. And your eyes shall see, and ye shall say, the Lord will be magnified from the border of Israel. A son honoreth his father, and a servant his master. If then I be a father, where is mine honor? And if I be a master, where is my fear? Saith the Lord of hosts unto you, O priests that despise my name. And ye say, wherein have we despised thy name? Ye offer polluted bread upon mine altar, and ye say, wherein have we polluted thee? In that ye say, the table of the Lord is contemptible. I like all of this. I like that. A son honoreth his father, and a servant his master. See that? And if ye offer the blind for sacrifice, is it not evil? And if ye offer the lame and sick, is it not evil? Offer it now unto thy governor. Will he be pleased with thee, or accept thy person, saith the Lord of hosts? And now I pray you, beseech God that he will be gracious unto us. This hath been by your means. Will he regard your person, saith the Lord of hosts? Who is there even among you that would shut the doors for naught? Neither do ye kindle fire on mine altar for naught. I have no pleasure in you, saith the Lord of hosts, neither will I accept an offering at your hand. For from the rising of sun even unto the going down of the same, my name shall be great among the Gentiles. And in every place incense shall be offered unto my name, and a pure offering. For not my name shall be great among the heathen, saith the Lord of hosts. But ye have profaned it, that ye say, the table of the Lord is polluted, and the fruit thereof, even his meat, is contemptible. Ye also said, behold, what a weariness it is, and ye have snuffed at it, saith the Lord of hosts. And ye brought that which was torn, and the lame, and the sick. Thus ye brought an offering. Should I accept this of your hand, saith the Lord? But cursed be the deceiver, which hath in his flock a male, and voweth, and sacrificeth unto the Lord a corrupt thing. For I am a great king, saith the Lord of hosts, and my name is dreadful among the heathen. I am a great king, and my name is dreadful among the heathen. Get it, Marshall? Dreadful, dreaded. The dreaded conservative, the dreadful. Chapter 2. And now, O ye priests, this commandment is for you. If you will not hear, and if you will not lay it to heart, and give glory unto my name, saith the Lord of hosts, I will even send a curse upon you, and will curse your blessings. Yea, I have cursed them already, because ye do not lay it to heart. Behold, I will corrupt your seed, and spread dung upon your faces, even the dung of your solemn feasts, and one shall take you away with it. And ye shall know that I have sent this commandment unto you, and my covenant might be with Levi, saith the Lord of hosts. My covenant was with him of life and peace, and I gave them to him, for the fear wherewith he feared me, and was afraid before my name. The law of truth was in his mouth, and iniquity was not found in his lips. He walked with me in peace and equity, and did turn many away from iniquity. For the priest's lips should keep knowledge, and they should seek the law at his mouth. For he is the messenger of the Lord of hosts. But ye are departed out of the way. Ye have caused many to stumble at the law. Ye have corrupted the covenant of Levi, saith the Lord of hosts. Therefore have I also made you contemptible and base before all the people, according as ye have not kept my ways, but have been partial in the law. When the Bible says base or based, that's not a good thing. Have we not all one Father? Hath not one God created us? Why do we deal treacherously every man against his brother by profaning the covenant of our fathers? Have we not all one Father? Hath not one God created us? Look at that. Where's Chris Terry when I need him? Judah hath dealt treacherously, and an abomination is committed in Israel and in Jerusalem. For Judah hath profaned the holiness of the Lord, which he loved, and hath married the daughter of a strange god. The Lord will cut off the man that doeth this, the master and the scholar, out of the tabernacles of Jacob, and him that offereth an offering unto the Lord of hosts. And this have ye done again, covering the altar of the Lord with tears, with weeping, and with crying out, insomuch that he regardeth not the offering any more, or receiveth it with good will at your hand. Yet ye say, wherefore? Because the Lord hath been witness between thee and the wife of thy youth, against whom thou hast dealt treacherously. Yet is she thy companion and the wife of thy covenant? And did not he make one? Yet had he the residue of the Spirit, and wherefore one, that he might seek a godly seed. Therefore take heed to your spirit, and let none deal treacherously against the wife of his youth. Did he not take one? There's a little anti-polygyny verse right there for the new white pill, red pill Christian polygyny, biblical polygyny teachers out there. Foolish people. I still want to debate that guy. I don't think he'll do it, though. He thinks he's too big. He thinks he's too much of a hot shot. He doesn't want to get destroyed by some guy with 6,000 subscribers when he's got 40,000 subscribers. He doesn't want to get crushed by a nobody. All right, buddy. All right. For the Lord, the God of Israel, saith that he hateth putting away. For one covereth violence with his garment, saith the Lord of hosts. Therefore take heed to your spirit, that ye deal not treacherously. Ye have wearied the Lord with your words. Yet ye say, wherein have we wearied him? When ye say, every one that doeth evil is good in the sight of the Lord, and he delighteth in them. Or, where is the God of judgment? If you say, anyone that does evil is good, or if you say, where is the God of judgment? God doesn't like that. We have 2 chapters left. Two chapters left, and the fourth one is really short. And then we have a time skip. We got a big chunk of time skip between the Old Testament and the New Testament. We jump about 400 years. Chapter 3. Here we go. I know this verse. I think this is quoted in the New Testament. Behold, I will send my messenger, and he shall prepare the way before me. And the Lord whom ye seek shall suddenly come to his temple, even the messenger of the covenant whom ye delight in. Behold, he shall come, saith the Lord of hosts. But who may abide the day of his coming? And who shall stand when he appeareth? For he is like a refiner's fire, and like fuller's soap. And he shall sit as a refiner and purifier of silver, and he shall purify the sons of Levi, and purge them as gold and silver, that they may offer unto the Lord an offering in righteousness. Then shall the offering of Judah and Jerusalem be pleasant unto the Lord, as in the days of old, and as in the former years. And I will come near to you to judgment, and I will be a swift witness against the sorcerers, and against the adulterers, and against false swearers, and against those that oppress the hireling in his wages, the widow and the fatherless, and that turn aside the stranger from his right. And fear not me, saith the Lord of hosts. For I am the Lord, I change not. Therefore ye sons of Jacob are not consumed. I am the Lord, I change not. Even from the days of your fathers, ye are gone away from mine ordinances, and have not kept them. Return unto me, and I will return unto you, saith the Lord of hosts. But ye said, wherein shall we return? Will a man rob God? Yet ye have robbed me. But ye say, wherein have we robbed thee? In tithes and offerings. He's saying they're not paying their tithes or making their offerings. It's funny, some Christians will get all bent out of shape if you're like, yeah, we're supposed to tithe 10%. They'll be like, oh, that's not true. That's not true. Yeah, it is true. It just doesn't have to be your money. 2 chapters left. What's the time skip? The time skip is from Malachi to Matthew. From Malachi to Matthew, you skip like 400 years between the Old and the New Testament. Ye are cursed with a curse, for ye have robbed me, even this whole nation. Bring ye all the tithes into the storehouse, that there may be meat in mine house, And prove me now herewith, saith the Lord of hosts, if I will not open you the windows of heaven and pour you out a blessing, and there shall not be room enough to receive it. And I will rebuke the devourer for your sakes, and he shall not destroy the fruits of your ground. Neither shall your vine cast her fruit before the time in the field, saith the Lord of hosts. And all nations shall call you blessed, for ye shall be a delightsome land, saith the Lord of hosts. Your words have been stout against me, saith the Lord. Yet ye say, what have we spoken so much against thee? Ye have said, it is vain to serve God. And what profit is it that we kept his ordinance, and that we have walked mournfully before the Lord of hosts? And now we call the proud happy. Yea, they that work wickedness are set up. Yea, they that tempt God are even delivered. We call the proud happy. Another word for happy is gay. Another word for proud is pride. Pride is gay. Pride, it makes you happy. Happiness is gay. Pride is gay. It's in the Bible. It's in the Bible. Okay, that's a joke. Then they that feared the Lord spake often one to another, and the Lord hearkened and heard it. And a book of remembrance was written before him for them that feared the Lord, and that thought upon his name. And they shall be mine, saith the Lord of hosts, in that day when I make up my jewels, and I will spare them, as a man spareth his own son that serveth him. Then shall ye return and discern between the righteous and the wicked, between him that serveth God and him that serveth him not. Chapter 4. That's only 6 verses long. 6 verses long. The last 6 verses of the Old Testament, ladies and gentlemen. And everybody left before the end. That's crazy. That's crazy. It says 0 people are watching. Oh, but well, there's 3. All right, you guys who stuck around till the end. Here we go. The last 6 verses of the Old Testament. And I have this highlighted. Here we go. Chapter 4. For behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, yea, and all that do wickedly, shall be stubble. And the day that cometh shall burn them up, saith the Lord of hosts, that it shall leave them neither root nor branch. But unto you that fear my name shall the Son of Righteousness arise with healing in his wings. And ye shall go forth and grow up as calves of the stall. And ye shall tread down the wicked, for they shall be ashes under the soles of your feet in the day that I shall do this, saith the Lord of hosts. Remember ye the law of Moses my servant, which I commanded unto him in Horeb for all Israel, with the statutes and judgments. Behold, I will send you Elijah the prophet before the coming of the great and dreadful day of the Lord. And he shall turn the heart of the fathers to the children, and the heart of the children to their fathers, lest I come and smite the earth with a curse. The end of the Old Testament. That last verse, that's the one that Jesse always quotes. He'll return the children to the fathers and the fathers to the children. That's the being born again of the flesh, or being born again of the spirit, because you're born of the flesh of the mother. The woman turned Adam, the man, away from her father, and he made her his God. In the same way, we're born through the flesh of the women. We make our mother our God. She turns us away from our father. And this is a unavoidable thing that happens to every single person that's ever existed in all the world. So if you say, oh, but I love my mama, you're missing the point. You're missing the point. It's about being born of the flesh through the woman who made Satan her God. You have to be born again of the spirit. Forgive your mother, return to your father. He turns the hearts of the fathers to the children and the children to the fathers. The only way to the Father is through the Son, and men are sons of God on earth. Honor your father and your mother. Elijah was the first rock star. That was an epically metal show of God's power. When he flew away on the chariot. So I wonder, is John the Baptist Elijah returned? Could be. It could be Elijah under a different name. They're calling him Elijah here. You know what's interesting? Freddie's gonna. I don't even know if I should say this because Freddie's gonna lose his mind. But in Malachi 4:2, it says, "But unto you that fear my name shall the Son of Righteousness arise with healing in his wings, and he shall go forth and grow up as calves of the stall." Where it says Son of Righteousness, it says S-U-N. It doesn't say S-O-N, and it's uppercase. Capital S-U-N, the Son of Righteousness. It doesn't say S-O-N of righteousness. It says S-U-N of righteousness, which is odd. And it says A, it's referencing me to Jeremiah 23:6, Luke 1:78, Ephesians 5:14, 2 Peter 1:19. Malachi 4:2. Malachi 4:2 uses the word sun, referring to the physical star, because it is a direct translation of the Hebrew word shemesh. The phrase son of righteousness is a poetic metaphor. Shemesh translates to sun, while the Hebrew word for sun is ben. Healing in its wings. The wings represent the sun's rays, symbolizing how the light of God's justice chased away darkness, restoring warmth and brings spiritual healing. Symbolic feeling pictures God's salvation breaking through like a bright, clear morning. While translators and theologians historically view this sun as a symbolic representation of the coming Messiah, the exact Hebrew text uses the word for the sun in the sky. And it's the first time I've ever seen it do that. But if somebody like Freddie sees that or hears this, he's going to lose his dang mind, because he believes that the rising sun, the sun rising, is that whole idea is stolen from the Egyptians, and it's really about the sun in the sky. But then the Christians turned it to sun, S-O-N, and made up Jesus and stole it from Serapis and blah, 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 all of his Pharaoh gobbledygook. Yo, 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 yo. Yoy. Yo, yo, yo. What's up? That's it. We finished the Old Testament. Let's go. So, I don't know. I might take a little break from the Bible stuff and maybe switch up the schedule and start trying to do like a different type of show in the mornings, or like a morning show schedule. Maybe one day we do like a debate review. One day we talk about news or something, or like a daily, not every day, but like 3 mornings a week. News, review a debate, current events, kind of like the Dreaded Conservative show at night, but in the morning times. But then like one day a week, do the Bible reading. Because I'm well studied on the New Testament. I probably read the New Testament like 100 times. I'm certified. I'm certified through Kenneth Copeland Ministries to teach the New Testament. Kenneth Copeland, the crazy guy. Yeah, I got a certificate from a course that I took through his ministries. So, but it's not like it's not like I'm reading course material while I'm reading the Bible and Kenneth Copeland is influencing me. It's just read the chapter, answer the multiple choice questions, write an essay. So it's not like Kenneth Copeland was influencing me as I was doing the course. Just so you know. It's just you'd have to read a chapter and then answer a bunch of true and false and multiple choice questions and then write an essay about it. So it's not like I was being taught by a Kenneth Copeland teacher. But that way we don't just like fly through the New Testament. If we just do it once a week, then I can and plus there's some things I'm things that I was raised always sure of, and now have started questioning things, and so I'm keeping those questions in my mind as I'm reading through the Bible this time, trying to read it from different perspectives so that I can figure out the answers to these questions that I have. Have you read your Mormon Bible? No, I've never read the whole Mormon Bible. I mean, I've read some of it. Of the Book of Mormon, I read a little bit of it, not all of it. I've read all of the Doctrines and Covenants and the Pearl of Great Price, but I haven't read all of the Book of Mormon because those are kind of short, and there's a lot of pictures in the Pearl of Great Price. I like the pictures, and they're fake pictures too. It's funny, they altered images. And then you see the original image, it's obviously like an Egyptian mummification process. But in the Pearl of Great Price, it's Abraham about to stab Isaac. But they changed it. If you look at the original compared to the one that made it into the Pearl of Great Price, you're like, they edited this. They did ancient editing on pictures, Egyptian hieroglyphs, and turned it into Abraham and Isaac and put it in the Book of Mormon. It's crazy. But back then, people didn't have internet. They couldn't figure that out. All right, guys. I got to get to bed. It's 12:30. Any smaller streams going? Let me see who's live. Emmett? Why is Easy's live right now? I was talking to him earlier. I didn't know he was doing this early in the morning. Okay, we'll send you over to him. Thank you for hanging out, guys. We're done with the Old Testament. Old Testament finished. Now I can officially say that I have read the whole Bible. Even though I've been studying the whole Bible my whole life, there were always some little books that I just never got to. A lot of those little ones at the end of the Old Testament, I just never got to them. I never read them, or I always skipped over them. All the Habakkuk, Nahum, Zephaniah, Zechariah, Malachi, Obadiah. I had never read those. All those little minor prophets, the ones that are 4 chapters at the end of the Old Testament, I had never read them. So now, even though a lot of the Old Testament I've read a ton of times, the New Testament I've read 100 times, now I can officially say that I've read the whole Bible. Not cover to cover. We're still working on that. But I don't really care about that much. I don't even think the Bible needs to be read from cover to cover. It's not even in chronological order. So it's actually a collection of books. You can read it, out of order. It's fine. But I've read the Old Testament from cover to cover, and I've read the New Testament from cover to cover. So technically, I've read the whole thing from cover to cover. So now when somebody says, have you even read the Bible from cover to cover? I've read it cover to cover 5 times. Now I can be like, yeah. And I did it out loud. Have you ever read the Bible out loud? Live? With video footage to prove it? Because how can I prove that you read the Bible 5 times cover to cover? I can't prove that. But I can prove that I read it out loud. Anyway, yeah, we'll go to Easy's. God bless, guys. Thank you for hanging out. I probably won't be here tomorrow morning because they're working on my thing and I have to hang out while the guys are here fixing my swamp cooler. So, but maybe we'll see. God bless, though, everybody. We out. Peace. Go put some chairs in Easy's chat.